Hello wonderful people, it is Genevieve and in this video we are going to draw some gingerbread cookies. So open up Procreate, create a new canvas and let's start drawing. And this tutorial is really super easy, and I know I said you can use Procreate, but you can really use any software that you want. Just start by creating a new layer and picking a nice brown color. And I will be using the Dark Edges watercolor brush from the Ultimate Watercolor Toolbox or brush set, which will be linked in the description below along with a promo code just for you guys. But you can use a regular brush and just lower the opacity with the slider on the left. So the first thing you're going to do is just roughly draw the shape that you want your cookies to be. So you can see in the example on the top left corner we have either like a gingerbread man, or you could even have like a Christmas tree or a star, a snowman, really whatever you want. So just start by, like I said, really roughly drawing the shape, trying to not lift your pen too many times, otherwise you're going to create some overlaps. Since we are drawing cookies, it's totally okay if you don't have really sharp corners and edges, because you know cookies tend to expand a little bit while they cook. But if you think that your edges are not right or your angles are not like you want them to be, feel free to use the eraser and just tweak your shape until you're entirely happy with it. At this point, if you do have some overlaps, go ahead and select either the water blender, so again from the watercolor brushes, or the regular smudge tool and just blend that overlap in a little bit so we don't have any hard edges within the color. And you're then going to open up the layer panel, swipe your layer towards the left and duplicate it. And then with two fingers, you're just going to squish them together, which is going to merge them. Which is going to make the color a little bit more opaque, which is what we need, because this next step, you're going to take the selection tool, set it to freehand, and you're going to draw a wobbly shape towards the bottom right of your cookie. And you're going to feather that selection somewhere between 30 and 40%. And then from the adjustment panel, you're going to select Hue, Saturation, Brightness. You're going to lower the brightness. You might want to up the saturation a little bit, and you're going to see that it creates a shadow. You're going to make another selection, this time in the top left corner, that you're also going to feather somewhere between 30 and 40%. And this time we're going to lift up the brightness as well as lower the saturation, which is going to help create a light effect on your cookie. So this is starting to look like a cookie. However, it looks like a very flat cookie. So we're going to add a little bit of thickness to it. And to do that, you can either use just a regular airbrush that you lower the opacity, or use the basic watercolor brush, which has just a little bit more texture to it. You're then going to use that brush to outline one side of your cookie. So here I'm focusing on the right side, and as you can see, I'm just going and just going over the right edges, and that's going to give this idea of the cookie not being super flat, that there's actually some sort of height to it. Okay, once you have a cookie shape that you like, go ahead and, rename your layer, because that's some good habits, but I forgot. And once that is done, oh wow, that didn't work out. Yep, we're getting there. There we go. Once that is done, go ahead and create a mask. So double tap on your layer, which is going to open the layer options, and tap on mask, and rename this mask to icing. Go ahead and pick a soft eraser, so just like a regular airbrush eraser type of thing. Set to a fairly small size, and you're just going to erase, making sure you are on your mask. You're just going to erase some sort of like icing border all around your cookie. And once you have your border, honestly, you can draw really anything that you want. If you do have a gingerbread person, you're probably going to want to draw some features on the face and maybe some like clothes elements. But if you went with an object, so like a bell or like a star or a tree, you can really experiment with patterns. So kind of like you're doodling on your cookie, but with fake icing, whatever that means. And the reason we're doing this on the mask is that the mask is separate from the cookies. As you can see here, if I hide it we didn't actually erase the cookie texture that we created. And if you didn't like the icing, you could just go ahead, delete that layer mask and create a new one and just start over again. So that's just a way of making sure that we're not actually erasing all the really nice cookie that we created first. So once you have an icing pattern that you're happy with, go ahead and create a new layer. And this layer, we're going to rename it to Details. You're then going to set it to either color burn or multiply. I'll change it to multiply later in the video, so might as well do it now. And you're going to select a sketching pencil that you like. So if you have the watercolor brushes, go ahead with the coloring pencil. And still with your same round color that you've been using since the start, you're going to once more kind of reinforce some of the edges that are on the right. And what I mean by that is, anytime that you have a line of icing or the edge of a cookie, just go ahead and add a line next to it. So if you're a bit confused about what I'm saying right now, that's totally fair. I feel like I'm not making a whole lot of sense, but just peek at the video and I'm sure you'll get it. Once you have all your outlines, you're also going to add some little dots in just a few sections of your cookie just to make it look a bit more textured. So you can see here I'm really just going quickly and sprinkling some dots all over. And at this point, this is where I'm deciding that I actually want to change the blending mode to multiply. So if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and do it now. And you might want to play with the opacity, but one thing that is important is if you do use multiply as your blending mode, double tap on the layer and activate the clipping mask. And we're almost done, just a few more steps. So go ahead and select your cookie layer and use the salt brush if you have the watercolor toolbox or the watercolor brush set. And the color of this brush really doesn't matter. All that matters is that you start from a white part of your canvas or a transparent part and you just drag it over your artwork. Once that is done, go ahead and create a new layer. This one you're going to put it on top of everything and you're going to not having it as a clipping mask and rename it to Splatters. We're also going to change the blending mode of it to linear burn, which I will do later because I forgot, but you can do it now. And you're just going to pick the splatter brush and still with your same brown that you've been using from the start or since the start, you're just going to add some splatters over your cookie, which is going to make it look both just like watercolor, but also like cookie crumbs around your cookie, which I think is really, really cute. So there you go. This was how to draw a gingerbread cookie in Procreate or any digital app, really. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I would love to see what you guys create. So make sure to share the results with me either on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up because it really does help the channel. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe because I put out new videos every week.